Hey everybody. So today I want to share some thoughts on open source, specifically in the AEC community. This is a topic that's pretty important to me, and I hope to create some meaningful conversations around this. And first off, I want to just make clear that this isn't an attempt to single out any specific person or group, but that I just want to point out that there might be a problem within some open source projects, and there's sometimes occasionally an aggressive all or nothing attitude among some of the advocates, and I just want to talk a bit about that. So yeah, let's get into it. So it's almost as if an ethos of openness extends to software code, but not always to open-mindedness of other models or approaches to software. And I was talking to a friend, Matthew Fuller, about this, and he's a open source advocate, and he shared an intriguing video, 3 common vices found in the Linux community. And I thought this was a really cool video that had some really interesting takeaways, and it was very much related to what I've been seeing in the AEC community. So, it sheds light on similar challenges across just various open source communities. This isn't a universal truth, nor is it a jab at passionate communities around open source, but I do think it's a trend in some areas that's hard to ignore once you've noticed it. And I think it's important to discuss this. So here's the thing. I'm not against closed source systems or paying for software. If a service adds value or brings innovation to the table, I think it's a worthwhile investment. If it helps me in some way, I don't mind paying for it. I think that's okay. And if it is open source, I don't mind, donating or supporting the community in other ways. The way I see it is like any tool, is as valuable as the solution it provides. So if it's an open source and serves its purpose, that's great. And if it's a proprietary tool and offers some sort of value, then I think it deserves its place in our toolkit as well. I think it's a balanced approach to these tools. I often find myself holding, multiple perspectives at once, and I believe we can appreciate different systems for different reasons at the same time. So open source doesn't automatically mean it's superior, and closed source isn't inherently restrictive. So they're different, I think, with unique strengths and their own challenges. And embracing these complexities means, we're not just consumers or users, we're active participants in shaping the software and what we're using, developing our own tool stacks based off of our needs and the value that they give us, being engaged and a part of what that looks like. And I think it's okay to hold multiple perspectives at the same time. Like, I can both like closed source and dislike it at the same time. I can have issues with open source as well. And, I think back to the balance piece of it, it's just that is so important when it comes to creating value for yourself, for your client, for your company. Understanding, what your needs are and what outcomes you're looking for out of the tools you choose. So I've seen, an aggressive attitude come from some parts of the open source community. And, I want to talk about this and just have a conversation around it, because I'm a big supporter of open source. I want to see it grow. I want to see more people use it. I think open source gives us so much freedom, and you can't force open source onto people. That's not how we're going to get people to adopt those types of tools or become supporters of it. We need to, be able to talk to folks. We need to make it accessible and make it practical. And I do agree that it's, we all have to engage with it and take steps to use these tools. But at the same time, if you're an advocate for it, meet folks in the middle, talk about accessibility. How can we make this easier and more usable for you? I think that's how we'll get more folks to understand the importance of open source and the freedom that it offers, and that there's just so much power in having control over your own tools. And so I hope that I can encourage that discussion and encourage more people to collaborate and discuss with one another, like what the possibilities are with open source, and not be so aggressive or hold this one or all or none attitude towards the choices that people make with their tools. All right, so I just want to conclude, that open source is a huge movement, and it's here to stay. But I think as we advocate for more openness in AEC, I think we should ensure our discussions are open as well, and that we're supporting each other, and that we're just open. We have open minds to other perspectives. And the aim isn't to put one against the other, but to appreciate, their coexistence and the diverse strengths that, each side brings. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and if you guys are having any challenges with open source in your projects, or if you're having any challenges with closed source, or if there's any really good solutions from one of those, I'd love to hear it. And then the video I mentioned earlier, I will put that below in the description, so check that out if you want. And yeah, that's all I've got. Just some quick thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one.